Peace, what up y'all? Phil James coming back at you yet again with another new geoengineering topic or geoengineering branch or plot twist, whatever you want to call it. I don't care because it doesn't matter. But I'm going to tell you that I haven't seen anybody in the truth community cover this topic, so I'm covering it right now because I just saw it today. Today is Saturday, May 26th, 2018, and it is pouring here in central Ohio, and I think we're under some flash flood warnings, possibly, because there's some shit flooding here, just for the record. But anyways, I want to go ahead and say something real quick. Shit is going crazy right now, okay? We're already having the first named hurricane or tropical storm of the year, and it's early as can be, and it's already hitting in the Gulf right now. Should be, I do believe. So that's Alberto. So already have a tropical disturbance hitting in the Gulf, and that's very early, you know what I mean? So how many hurricanes you guys think we're gonna have this year? There's been a couple articles about it, so I might make a video on the topic, but leave in the comments, how many hurricanes do you guys think we're gonna have this hurricane season, or just this year, 2018? Let me know. I'll go ahead and tell you my prediction. I think we will have at least 3 major hurricanes make landfall this year again. At least 3 major ones. And I'm saying Cat 4, Cat 5. But I'm going to say we're going to have... I'll say we'll have probably like 15 to 17 hurricanes or tropical storms total. But like I said, at least 3 of them, in my opinion, will be major hurricanes. Cat 3, Cat 4, Cat 5. And I think at least 3 of those, or at least 2 or 3 of those big ones could make landfall. That's my guess. You know, I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just guessing just for fun. So tell me what you guys think. We had an insane hurricane season last year, you know, and it was clearly due to climate change or geoengineering, because that is what it is. So let me know what you guys think. But anyways, let's get on with this article. A group of scientists has suggested that dumping tremendous amounts of salt into the upper atmosphere could help lessen the effects of climate change, quite similar to the sulfur dioxide plan we wrote about last year. The ploy would be based on the idea that particles can deflect sunlight, helping cool the other. Now, the report presented at the Lunar and Planetary Science Conference in Texas proposes dusting the upper troposphere with salt via atmospheric seeding. The idea was put forth by Robert Nelson, a senior fellow at the Planetary Science Institute, which is a non-profit organization dedicated to understanding planetary systems. Now, that's a good name to remember because he's coming up with geoengineering ideas. You know, we remember David Keith, so now we need to look into Robert Nelson. Remind me if you guys haven't heard me mention him again or look into him. So you guys are more than welcome to also, so let me know if you do. But Robert Nelson, all right, let's carry on, shall we? Let me take this turn actually, because I'm reading this while driving, as you guys can tell. This guy has to work. Unfortunately, I have to work to survive, so that's why I'm doing this. But anyways, let's continue with this article. All right. All right. This would, of course, fall within the realm of geoengineering. Massive projects designed to rework some fundamental aspects of Earth's macroscopic physics or chemistry. These plans, while potentially offering tremendous boons to the human race, are just as fraught with risks. You don't say. Because then you bring up articles like the one I covered not too long ago where it said geoengineering, once started, couldn't be stopped because it would have more of an impact if we just stopped. So yeah, it's clearly fraught with risks. And I love the way they say tremendous amounts of salt. That can't be healthy. You know what I'm saying? All right. It's an interesting idea, professor of meteorology at Penn State, Michael Mann. How about that? Another Marvel type comic name, Michael Mann. That could just be coincidence, right? Possibly. I mean, it could just be that way. I don't know. But I'm sick of seeing all the Marvel comic type double initialed names like that. You know? It's just very strange. It makes me feel like I'm reading comic books. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird to me. But, alright. Told Live Sciences. Most of these geoengineering schemes, though potentially appealing at the surface, are seen to be fraught with potential unintended consequences when you look at them more in detail. Yeah, of course. Yep, it really is just salt. And there's a picture. It looks more like methamphetamine to me, honestly. The problem, of course, with messing with Earth's natural system should be obvious. Yeah, because every time we do it, we destroy that system and then destroy a bunch of species and kill a bunch of everything. So, yeah, it is very obvious. But not to mention that's what got us into this mess in the first place. Many of the other proposals often have some terrifying risks as well. Sulfate, I think that's supposed to say seeding, could cause acid rain, and alumina, another proposed highly reflective material, could cause terrible lung conditions for people and animals all over the world. Yeah, did you hear that? I want to make sure everybody saw that, heard that, and then reads it one more time, because that right there, my friends, is pretty insane. Do you see that? Alumina, another proposed highly reflective material, or aluminum, could cause terrible lung conditions for people and animals all over the world. Well, when David Keith was asked about potential health risks with aluminum, he said nobody's done any research, because that's how he says it, research, not research. He says research. But anyways, yeah, so they clearly know, because we know, so of course they know. Ordinary table salt, though, might just be the key. In 2015, while studying salts on other celestial bodies, Nelson realized that salt was more reflective than alumina and relatively benign. If the particles were engineered just so, Nelson thought they could be dispersed into the atmosphere and allow outgoing heat to pass through while reflecting extra radiation from the sun, providing a net chilling effect. But there are many potential problems, namely that while salt, aka sodium chloride, is harmless, its components are not. Conditions in parts of the atmosphere would be able to split the chemicals, leading to potential damage in the ozone layer thanks to the chlorine in table salt. Well, that's not very smart, because CFC-11 is being produced again in southeastern Asia, remember? So CFCs are already tearing apart the ozone layer. So now we're going to spray salt, let it break down, and then it's going to break down the ozone layer. That's clever. You know, see what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. Always some sort of contradiction, always something. So I'm astonished, you know what I mean? Like I said, there will be a link to this in the description below, because this is a good one to come read. It's just ridiculous, you know what I mean? Give me 1 second here, though, because I am going to continue, so hold on 1 second. So, you know, yeah, it's just table salt, right? Well, I can think of a couple problems. Now imagine you spray table salt, mixture, compounds, whatever, sodium chloride all over the upper troposphere, stratosphere, you know, right around there. And then it mixes with rain clouds, and then that salt is now, because, you know, salt is water soluble, that salt is now dissolved in all the raindrops, and then that rain comes down to Earth. Well, guess what? I can think of a couple problems. One being that all leeches and worms and snails and anything like that, any sort of little worm-like creature with a gelatinous type outer body, not an exoskeleton, is going to be affected by that salty water. So then that in turn, affects all ecosystems that touch it. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at with that? So ecosystem stress, all kinds of problems would come with that salt. Danielle, my lady, informed me, obviously when my mouth was messed up, I was gargling salt water because it's a type of natural antibiotic or puritant. And, Danielle told me that, and that's very right. So, it could be benign or not as bad as sulfur dioxide, possibly. I don't personally know, but as I look at this, I see numerous problems, like I just said, ecosystem stress, and then wiping out snails, earthworms, and, leeches, and anything else like that. So that's an issue, you know what I mean? That could be a big problem. David Keith, a Harvard University climate scientist specializing in geoengineering, told Science Mag. Yeah, thanks, David Keith. Your sulfur dioxide and sulfuric acid plan is worse, in my opinion, probably. My guess is it's probably worse than salt. But salt's still not good at all, and it's still ridiculous, and it's still a dumb ass idea, in my opinion. So there's that for you guys. Still, Nelson believes that by targeting the troposphere above weather systems and far below the chemically tumultuous environments of the upper layers, I'm not trying that word, I don't know it, but whatever, alright, would be enough to avoid these issues. Still, the ethics and mechanics behind geoengineering haven't been completely explored or discussed. Before tackling something that affects us all, ideally, we would consult the rest of the people on Earth. Then again, we didn't really ask coastal nations and global south if they wanted loads of extra CO2 and rising sea levels, so there's that. Well, that's funny, because with that, they make it seem like they would ask us before they started spraying massive amounts of salt, aluminum, or sulfuric acid, or sulfur dioxide, or silver iodide, or any of those. Dried ice, another one. They make it seem like they would ask us or discuss it with us or bring it up and ask us for our consent. Well, as you and I both know, they have never done that. And they said that they will start testing this year. Well, they clearly have. That's without a doubt. They clearly have. Now, there's other ideas coming out that are even just as ridiculous. You know what I mean? So, regardless, while atmospheric particulates may well help mitigate some of the more dangerous side effects of climate change, there's that word again, mitigate, because David Keith talks about albedo modification or mitigation, just helping as a type of, it's something that helps but doesn't relieve or cure the problem. So it won't stop. All right, so yeah, may help mitigate some of the more dangerous side effects of climate change. It won't stop them all. Oceans are still going to grow more acidic thanks to the increased atmospheric carbon dioxide. This can and likely will cause the collapse of a number of marine ecosystems alone, and that's not to mention the other pollutants like mercury that come from burning coal and other fossil fuels. So yeah, even if this does turn out to be a viable plan, we'd really better be ready to deal with side effects afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is quite ridiculous in my opinion. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. It's ridiculous. I have nothing else I can really say. Well, I mean, I guess I do have something else I can say. Be sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you have not, hit that bell button if you have not, and then leave a comment below. Let me know how many major hurricanes you guys think will make landfall this hurricane season this year. Let me know. 2018 hurricane and weather. Let me know what you think it's going to be like. Because I can honestly tell you, with the way these articles are coming out, the geoengineering articles, the absolute statements to the mainstream media that they are literally trying to manipulate or mitigate some climate change by changing the climate. With all that, I'm assuming that they're going to continue their weather modification and owning the weather, because they're going to do it. I think they already do own it. A lot of us do, and I think we'll know this year, especially after this hurricane season. There's a bunch of strange weather events happening worldwide, and then we have those cracks and everything else. So, all right, y'all. Phil James, let me know what you think. Link will be in the description, and yeah, I'll check in with you guys a little bit later. Hopefully, I'll be able to live stream here soon. I miss y'all. All right. Peace out, y'all.